to the first braking zone, and the pole sitter has always led the first lap here in Baku. 5 lights on ahead of the drivers. It's lights out, and away we go, and Leclerc gets away well ahead of Hamilton and Verstappen, and then you have Sainz and Gasly scrapping away behind them, but it's Charles Leclerc with a clear lead going through turn 1. He's got the start, he's got the pole, and he's got away from Lewis Hamilton, and they're looking up. Sainz, Gasly ahead, Sergio Perez making up places as well. The two McLarens getting bogged down in the midfield, and the charge is on now. The Ferrari of Charles Leclerc has Lewis Hamilton right behind him, and Leclerc's been leading throughout this race, but not for long, because Hamilton's got the tow, he's got the slipstream, he doesn't need DRS, and he makes the pass to take the lead of this race. Leclerc's going to try and fight him back going into turn 1, but it's Hamilton now ahead of Leclerc with Verstappen in third. Watching Charles Leclerc under massive pressure from Max Verstappen. He's had to wait a few laps to get past the Ferrari. It's happened now at the beginning of lap 7. Hamilton leads. Verstappen is now second and chasing after the Mercedes. Leclerc down to third.
Look at Sergio Perez, straight there for protection. This is exactly what Red Bull need, isn't it? Up to third place. What a drive so far.
In the space of a single lap, Charles Leclerc is now out of the podium places.
You bring the car across the left-hand side, both fronts lock, and it's interesting to see a lot of cars having issues with both fronts when they lock, not necessarily one. Obviously some people getting a great view of the track.
And a great view of Nikita Mazepin going down the escape route as well. No fans here this weekend.
What's happened in Sector 2? We've got a yellow flag.
That will attract the attention of the strategy engineers on the pit wall, and it is a Ferrari of Carlos Sainz who's gone off into the runoff area. Hamilton comes in, Verstappen and Perez stay out. We've not seen drivers have problems here, but on the hard tyre, he locks up and has to bail out.
Sorry guys.
It's Hamilton now coming through turn 1. Sergio Perez comes out in second place, still ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen is ahead, Sergio Perez behind his teammate, Hamilton behind now both Red Bulls. Is an accident, and it is Lance Stroll. And Lance Stroll, who might well have been coming into the pits, has left a huge amount of debris on the track. He's moving around in the cockpit. That's great to see. What happened to Lance Stroll? And yeah, absolutely no chance of avoiding the accidents. I said potentially coming into the pits. Oh, that's an impact, isn't it? We are going to get racing here in Baku, and now Verstappen's gone, and Lewis Hamilton has got a really nice tow behind Sergio Perez. Pierre Gasly locks up. Charles Leclerc could get interested here. Sebastian Vettel down the inside of Charles Leclerc, gets past the Ferrari. Sergio Perez is under pressure from Lewis Hamilton. There's a huge lock-up by Charles Leclerc. He almost goes into the back of Sebastian Vettel. Somehow, the Aston Martin doesn't make contact.
Sebastian Vettel getting a nice one off Pierre Gasly. He's going to get it done.
He's got the tow. He's got the fresher tyres, he's got the pace. Sebastian Vettel's got 4th place here in Baku. It can go right down to the checkered flag, and look at and it's Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen on the main straight, leading this race, now out of this race. Sergio Perez leads from Lewis Hamilton. That is a 200-mile-an-hour crash for Max Verstappen, and that is also Red Bull's first 1-2 in many a long year, taken out of them as well. And the red flag has now come out. The race is now going to stop. Where is that Williams going? Thought we might actually hear there. George Russell, I think, is disappearing. Look at the brakes smoking on Lewis Hamilton's car as he sits on the grid waiting for the 5 lights. Perez on pole, Hamilton alongside him on the front row. Perez gets away well. Hamilton who locks up and goes straight on. Perez leads from Sebastian Vettel, and then comes Pierre Gasly and Charles Leclerc, and Hamilton has gone from second in the race to falling out of the point. Under pressure now, Pierre Gasly's got Charles Leclerc right behind him. Looks like Charles Leclerc is ahead of Pierre Gasly. Gasly's going to come back at him again though. The AlphaTauri goes a bit deep and gets past Charles Leclerc. Sergio Perez moved teams over the winter, went to Red Bull in his 6th race for his new team. Sergio Perez wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel moved teams. He picks up his first podium. What a Baku race it was. What an Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Perez picks up the points. Verstappen and Hamilton, the championship contenders, both failed to finish. It's Baku to the drawing board for them. It's celebrations for Perez tonight.
I think we all love Baku, right? It worked well, you know. We had good pace, good start, good first lap. We did everything perfect apart from that restart.
I'm happy, obviously. It was a good day, and happy for the team mostly. You know, it's been a tough season start, tough beginning to the season, so I think the guys are over the moon.
I knew I would be in a tricky position to defend my position on Charles right behind, and that's exactly what's happened. All the straights, he was right there. He actually passed me before turn 1, and yeah, I saw the podium like right in front of my eyes. I just gave everything I could, and yeah, in the end we made it possible.
Unknowingly hit a switch, and it basically just switched off the rear brakes, and only the fronts were working, so it just went straight. And you know, it's really painful, but I'm really sorry to the team for this day. You know,
Frustrating and very disappointing. So close to the finish to retire with a tire blowout. So yeah, it's a big shame. Sometimes you can hate the sport for a few hours, and then yeah, I'll be fine again.